Two cousins came together to create a weekly podcast celebrating the excellence, intelligence, beauty, and strength of melanated women. What we created is the When We Think of Us podcast.
We catch up, spotlight melanated businesses, and discuss our experiences as melanated women, addressing topics ranging from relationships to finances, and aspiring to teach, learn, heal, and love ourselves and our communities entirely. This is When We Think of Us.
Peace, y'all. We laugh.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm upset. I am upset. Have you
Oh,
have you been following the NCAA?
oh no, I haven't.
Gonzaga just blew like everyone's bracket, I'm sure.
Oh wow.
They lost.
Did you have money on it? I take
Girl,
it you had
no,
money
I
on
ain't
it.
loyal. I bet
Oh,
against I bet against them because that's just been how it's been going right now. But I still wanted them to go to the end. That's when I would have bet on them.
oh.
Yep.
So is it over? Sorry, I'm not in
No,
touch at all with. I haven't been keeping up.
no. It's over for them. It's over for them.
Right, of course.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a minute. Um, since it's great to be back from break. I'll tell you that.
It is. It
Yes,
is.
yes, yes.
I felt like something was missing.
Yeah. I found
Felt like something
myself.
was missing.
I did find myself though, just like doing a lot of research and soul searching to be able to bring it here. That
Yeah.
part I was definitely looking forward to just bringing things here to talk about.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah. Anything you feel like sharing?
what has occurred? What has occurred? There's so much that has happened. Um, I will say one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about today was like really what became heightened for me was the need to tear down things that I conditioned myself to believe about my abilities,
Okay.
and thinking that there were sources outside of myself and God that provided for me. A lot got put into perspective. A lot got put into
Yeah.
perspective there. So,
It happens. It happens. Shortly before the show, I got which is one thing that I look forward to as we grow, the power of the influence that social media has. So about 2 months ago, I supported a small business. And needless to say, I haven't received the product yet. But the
you
dude
said two
kept 2
2 months.
months. So the
Mhm.
dude keep reaching out like, yeah, have you received your product? Like, don't even it's not worth it, right? Like, so I asked him, I was like, hey, let me get the tracking number. I'll take care of it. No, I'll resend it. You'll just have to sign for it. Before you do that, let me get the tracking number. And he was like, yeah, I don't do business like that. So there was a few exchanges like that, right? So all this
Mhm.
week, as I've been posting more that we're getting ready to go live. So today I'm like, hey, we're going live tonight. He's very apologetic, and then he's like, you know what? For the inconvenience, I'm gonna send you two. No, don't do that. Keep the same energy. Keep this. First of all, as it stands right now in the moment, our following is decent. If to let me tell it, right? Like, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know the
Yeah.
following, but he knows that, hey, like on the other side of that, she might know somebody that can really put it out. But I'm not even. Someone said keep that
Keep
same
that
energy,
energy,
bro.
right. Keep that same
Keep that
energy.
same energy. But I have to say, a fair exchange isn't robbery. Although I didn't get the product, this dude he's like a notorious entrepreneur. He has
Mhm.
his hands in a lot of things. And I was like, hey, I want to learn about that. He was like, well, I live in Charlotte. Cool, I'll be there April. He was like, we'll link up. Now I don't trust it. Like I bought a product 2 months ago. So us linking up, I'm not going for that. But just communication.
Yes, that's
Communication. Oh,
because so do you think that if you was there correspondence within that too? You say he kept checking to see if you got
yeah,
the product.
he did. I
So
mean,
it was shipping that was the
no,
issue.
I honestly think that with everything he has his hands in, mine just slipped through the crack. That's
Yeah.
what I mean, given the benefit of the doubt, because he never ran from a conversation whatsoever. And he never ran from a conversation. And it's like, okay, well, if you're not gonna send me, or at least my way of thinking, because me, if I can learn from something, that's priceless. I don't care about the shirt and the hat. That was a gift.
Mhm.
But you got a lot of businesses that I'm interested in. Can you teach me? And he was like, yeah, that he has kept his word on. Like he made these adult drink Capri Suns, and he's like, get you some good quality pouches, find you a great person that can make labels. And he was like, make sure your ratio is straight and you're good. I was
Mm.
like, okay.
Mm.
So
And you
information.
and like so Lady Royal, for real, the thing is you don't know who I know and we don't know who he knows, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you really have to pick your battles for one. And that's another thing that has come up for me repeatedly, just scenarios in which I know I would have reacted rather violently in that, I would let my ego get the best of me or my temper get the best of me. And they haven't necessarily happened to me,
Hmm.
but they've been close enough to me where it's made me think about how to handle them differently, how I could handle
Yeah.
certain things differently. And that's one of those things that in thinking about what no longer that's something that comes up all the time, like, oh, I'm releasing that which no longer serves me. But it's like, for what does that
Yeah.
really mean? Like when you break that down, what's that mean? Is there really a true evaluation happening where you're really able to identify that which no longer serves you?
Yeah. Part of the problem I think is that stuff trends, right? So you see the post, you like it, and it's like, okay, well, I'm no longer serving the things that serves me, and it sounds good. So
Mhm.
we make it, we repeat it, we do all of these things. Um, but at the end of the day, I have to say it. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Most people don't even know what serves them. They don't even know, like, okay, what serves you. I bet if we were to do a survey of what serves you, people wouldn't even know what it means. I know what it means for me. My peace serves me. If you start tampering with my peace, I
Mm.
can't rock with you. Outside of that, I don't have anything else to apply that comment to.
Mm.
That's just
Most
me, though.
people don't know what's a yeah, yeah, because that was the thing, like, with it being so it's springtime
Hmm.
and it's Aries season astrologically. That Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So whenever there's the thought about Aries, it's new beginnings, it's things that are new, there's things that are rising
Hmm.
up. And it's really truly also the identity, the self. And this is a really good time to really tap into self
Yeah.
and doing that inventory to say what resonates with me and what doesn't. And that goes all the way down from material things to people and relationships. Like what is who am I? Who am I without those people, without these things? At the end of the day, who am I?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, we took a class. You and I took an abundance class together.
Oh, yes.
And one thing that still stick with me today is when the teacher was like, your conscious and your unconscious, all you need is for those two to agree, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And man, that was powerful for me. So right now I'm battling a fight like, man, do I want to relocate? Do I want to find another job? Like all of these thoughts. And I think that my subconscious is winning the battle. Like, hey, you these are things that you keep talking about, but you're afraid to move. And
Mm.
I am. I don't want to leave Colorado. I built a lot here and I started over so many times. That is expensive.
Mm.
That is expensive. But then my conscience is like, man, you got it made. That is true also. So it's like, who's going to win when both of y'all giving me some decent stuff? But again, when I sit down and really think about it, something's going to have to prevail, right? So
Yeah,
we'll see.
absolutely. And the thing, and I'm super grateful for Iyanla. Iyanla had a 40-day abundance course that was free of charge. It was, yeah, every day for 40 days. We tapped out that negative chatter and replace them with affirmations.
Yeah,
And really, I'm so grateful for that class and how it just came up to, I happened to see the email, but it was so needed. All things considered, things that I was going through with my employer and just life. Um, and if one thing became so clear, it was that none of my employer, they're not my source. And I didn't really
yeah,
realize how um disconnected I was with that knowing. And I didn't realize how dependent I was on my job and thinking that I needed my job in order to be able to survive
yeah,
even.
yeah,
um and I was able to really let that go. And the thing is, it really can be that easy, but you have to just let
yeah,
yourself do. Are you willing to allow yourself to be? Just be who you are, what you are. Are you willing and ready to be that familiar with yourself?
yeah. And that's a hard
Mhm.
one. Like Grow with YOLO said, people need confirmation for what is already in their hearts and mind to do. Going back to being busy, I think that's why a lot of people stay busy, or at least that was my case. Because during the break, I let go of my part time job
Mm.
and I exchanged it with quiet time with myself, working out. I look good, I feel good. Most days I smell good, right? It's like I exchanged that with things about me. And now I have to deal with myself like, hey, do you want to relocate? Do you want to stay here and make the best out of everything? And do you want to stay at your job? I called out a couple days
Mm.
this week, and first of all, it felt good. I have so much sick time, it's ridiculous. So it felt good to just call out. I don't have to always do things by the book, but to my surprise, When I called out to my manager, he was like, basically like, shit, I ain't going either. So I was like, I
Listen.
rock with you. Yeah. So then the next day I was like, man, I'm gonna hit him with another one, right? So I called out the next day. Ditto. My manager was like, yeah, me either. I was like, man, should I try for a third day? But I was like, nah, let me go on in. I get a text from him midday. He was like, hey, I'm gonna take off. I was like, I was like, well, shoot, I'm about to be with you, but I didn't do the new lady like that. But I don't know. I just think that we we got it wrong.
Mm,
We got it wrong. I got a lot of sick time, and there's been some days I drug myself into that job not feeling well.
mm,
Why?
mhm, mhm.
Right? So
Why? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like why? It didn't make and my manager is getting ready to retire. And I had this conversation, the same one I just shared with you, like, hey, I don't really know what to do. And I told him, I took this job to work for you. You're not gonna be here anymore. I don't know where that leave me. And he made it clear. He said, I learned years ago that jobs are only loyal to the job. Jobs aren't loyal to people.
What?
I was like, shoot, my man.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So just great things has really come about, even taking a break from this, right? As much as I missed it, it's like, oh, I don't have to rush when I get home to set up to do all of this. Like I can just be still. But I had to be careful because I didn't want to just sit still and not be productive. So I'm working on that part of myself.
Let me ask you something. Something you
Hmm.
said. So I feel like as melanated women, and I'm speaking in addition to myself, there's some type of stigma around feeling like there's sometimes I've operated in a space where I'm overly concerned about how I am perceived at work. If I
Yeah.
call out sick or if I take a personal day, that people think that I'm not working as hard. I feel like I've felt compelled to prove myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like, and then when I'm looking at sometimes other white women, they not, they don't
Girl, it ain't with all that.
give a fuck. They don't care. It's just like, wow.
They listen. Here's my thing. I think that unfortunately for us, we we try to fight a fight that's not intended for us. Right? So maybe before us, that's what people had to do. We have the Crown Act, for crying out loud. We have to fight to wear our natural hair.
Mm,
Um and not only
mm,
that, but it's like, okay, so we're doing all these different things to prove ourselves, when I think that being a melanated woman, or or being a minority as well, you're there for a quota,
oh yeah, you hit
right?
you hit you hit two of them. You're a woman
Yeah.
and you're of color.
So you're there for a quota, and regardless to how well you think you have it, you're still being watched. The
Mm.
minute you don't give that company what they hired you for, because they're already underpaying us. Make no mistakes about that. They're already they're already underpaying us. So when you add in the fact that we're sitting here and we are really fighting to have this reputation, I'm gonna say this very clearly. As good as I've been to my employee, as good as I've been to my employer for the past 10 years, if you don't know me by now, it's not gonna happen. That proving myself, I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
A
I
a
was talking to a really close coworker today, or maybe yesterday. It's not even important. And we were talking about how a white woman came into the job that we work from a completely different state. This Joker single handedly turned the corporation upside down and then hired her husband and gave him a high ranking position. I won't hate on that.
What?
I won't I won't hate on that, but I'm like, God damn.
Yeah,
I can't
I
hate
don't
on
know.
it.
I need for us to operate with similar entitlement.
Yeah.
Like I want to that part, I want to channel that part. Like I am just as
Yeah.
entitled to that. I'm entitled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm claiming that.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
Mhm.
I don't like her as a person. I won't deny that. But what she did, hat off. Hat off. I was like, damn, they just gonna let you come in and do that. Meanwhile, we can't even get a conversation about who we're gonna report to. Like, girl, look,
Oh, girl,
yeah.
we are in a parallel world right now. Parallel. It's
Mm-hmm.
so crazy to see like the similarities. Like I have a very similar type of situation with work, and it's like I to sit back and think about the sacrifices
Yeah.
and the things and the people that I have neglected on behalf of work
Mm-hmm.
and my employer, and it's just like wow,
When you say that
wow.
we are in a similar situation, that bothers me.
Mm,
And it bothers me because your job, and I believe that the state you live in is predominantly black. So for you to say that, listen, I'm going to call a spade a spade. You know, I'm going to put it out there. Melanated people oppress one another too.
mm,
There's no way you should have echoed what I'm going through in a predominantly white job. I meant
Lord.
black, well, melanated.
Ooh.
There's no way you shouldn't be echoing me on this. I am
Yeah,
in Denver, Colorado. I know what I was getting myself into.
it
There's
happens. It
there's
happens.
no way you should have echoed that.
It happens. It definitely
And
happens.
you know, that's why
But you have a good point.
I had to take my hat off to her like, dang, you gonna bring your husband in and give him a high ranking role?
Is that legal?
He doesn't report to her. We can't even pull the nepotism card.
Well, how can she hire him if he doesn't report to her?
She just had to brush elbows with the hiring manager of where she wanted him to be. Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow, wow, wow.
There's no reason you should have echoed that. That's heartbreaking.
It is. It is. And it's like I really don't know what it is. I don't want to say that that I'm not going to accuse anybody of saying that I'm, being oppressed at this moment anyway,
Mm,
but you have to, I mean, can't help but wonder. It's just like, what? I don't understand. There's just some things that just don't make sense
like
when,
oppression.
like
No, I'm
oppression. Well, no, seriously, like if you are just putting forth all of this, you're putting forth all of the work, you've made the sacrifices, and then to have to be told like, yeah, that's not enough, and you got to do that, you got to do more. That's that part that I'm talking about. Like, and
yeah,
that's a conditioning from childhood. Like, we have to do more. And I think that's where that oppression comes in, because we know that we have to do more. And oftentimes we'll push each other harder than than others will.
yeah, that's interesting. So being the youngest child, my mentality is a bit different. My mentality is you're gonna give it to me anyway.
Oh my gosh, that is truly a youngest
you're
child.
gonna you're gonna give it to
Oh my
me
gosh.
anyway.
It's so
So no, I'm
true.
not gonna do more. In fact, if you were to ask some of my coworkers, and I'm not saying that I don't put in an honest day's work. I'm just saying that I'm going to show up when I need to, if you
Mm,
get my drift.
mm,
But it's like, look, I've already figured this game out. You're doing checks and balances on me. I know what you're looking for. I'm gonna give it to you. But if I happen to get 8 hours worth of work done in two, don't talk to me. My work is
right,
done,
right.
and you better not let me work from home. Don't do that.
Hey, look, they've gotten their best hours out of me, okay? Working from home, their
Yeah,
best hours.
yeah.
I was reading a study that said, like, when people were in the office in an 8-hour day, people were really only completing, they were only really doing 2 to 3 hours worth of work.
30
So it's
minutes
just
when I
like,
30 minutes when I was at home.
yeah, it's like, I mean, now people, I feel like I've definitely worked far more at home because it's like I'm at home, I'm chilling, I don't have nowhere to go, I don't have to, the, I feel like there, though, that separation is just blending. Like I'm not able to divide work from home. And I'm not saying that to say the solution is to go back in the office. That is not what I'm saying at all. Really and truly, the ultimate goal is to just get out of the rat race and be able to, make my own decisions for myself and what I want to do with my day. Period.
Right. So grow with YOLO said that
Hey, grow with
it
YOLO.
it comes down to the belief in self, and that the lady believed her value was so high that she was entitled for her husband to be accommodated because the company was getting her. I got to take my
Mm,
hats off. I got to take my hat off to that. And I will say there are people that are at my job right now. The company knows their value. They know their value. So the company dangles a carrot or whatever, right? And sometimes, going back to what you said, our loyalty and everything keeps us here,
yeah.
right? Again, I am unloyal. Right now, my job and I have an understanding. I'm going to use y'all, y'all going to use me until I decide to pack up or y'all ship me out. But even if y'all ship me out, I've already done the math. You're going to give me 2 weeks severance and then you're going to pay me out for 2 weeks. That's a month's worth of pay in a lump sum. I can buy a
Mm,
food truck with that.
mm.
Ain't no keeping me down around this joint. I don't know who's going to cook in it, but I can at least I'll rent I'll drive it around Denver and rent it out. Like, either way I will win
Yeah.
regardless. The thing about it is, though, when we go into these meetings, there's no one that looked like me. There's
Mm.
no one that looked like other brown people. There's no one. Ain't nobody about to put us on. Look at your job. I still don't appreciate that, but it is what it is, and it happens. But what we gonna do about it?
That's it. That's it. What is to be done about it?
Yep.
And at the end of the day, only you can answer that. That is all, that is entirely up to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to, so I always go back and forth about, like, am I operating in a scarcity mindset? Is this because I feel like I'm not, you know, do I feel like I'm not good enough or undeserving in any kind of way? Like, I'm trying to check in there to say, am I running away from success or self sabotaging or things like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to your coworker, the woman who just hired her husband, it's like, I just simply maybe just need to feel more entitled and know that none of these people or this job, none of it determines my outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. And for
Mm.
me, I think that um
Oh,
fear,
wow.
fear usually shows up as well. At least
Mhm.
that was my case, coupled with a lack mindset. So I started looking at jobs and I was like, dang, I have it made because I'm being paid fairly decent. And I had to rebuke that thought. Like, you can't look for a job for 30 minutes, don't see anything that equates to your pay, and feel like, oh, you have to stay there because of what they pay you. No, you use different job engines. You do whatever you have to do for yourself.
Yeah.
Because when I was in leadership, I'll be honest with you, I hired one person that was a majority. Everybody else was minority. If I'm ever in a position to make things somewhat equal, I'm taking it.
Mm.
I am taking it.
Mm.
Some of them have, some of them have embarrassed me. Some of them have embarrassed me, but you know what? When it's all said and done, they can't say that no one gave them a chance.
Yeah.
They can't say that.
Yeah. Lady Royal said the lack mindset. Yes, it's shackles, the lack mindset. And that's the whole thing that it's really about. It's about what are you going to do about it?
Hmm.
What are you going to do about it? I know what I'm going to get with where I'm at in my job, right?
Yeah.
What am I going to do about it?
Hmm.
That don't have nothing to do with anybody else, not at work, anybody. It puts it back in the ball back in my court. I'm holding it. So it's like,
Yeah.
what is going to be done? And that is really, y'all, what this particular season is about. Like, who are you really? Who are you? And also, in addition to that, what do you want? Because
That's a
that's what's
hard one.
next. Once you decide who you are, and it's important to get clear on who you are, because you may find that what you thought you wanted, you don't really want it, nor do you need it. That was that was something that came out of Iyanla's class for me,
Hmm.
where she had this, it was a process like a 55-5, where you
Yeah.
write an affirmation statement 55 times for 5 days straight.
At the same time of day in the same location.
Yeah. Oh, well, some did. I did my best on that part.
There you go.
But yeah, so when I first started out, I was like, oh, I make this specific, I make well over this many figures, and I drive this particular car. And as I was writing it out, it didn't really resonate. It really didn't, it was like, oh, yeah, that would be cool. But I couldn't get it to stick.
Yeah.
Right. And just in thinking about it and journaling and meditating, it was just like, yeah, that's not really, I don't really need those things to feel what I desire to feel. I just want to I just want to be utilizing every single God-given gift,
Yeah.
every single God-given talent, every single God-given skill. I want to do that every single day, because
Yeah.
in that, I know that I'm fulfilling my purpose, and the money, all of that stuff, it'll come.
Man, listen, so my 55-5, I got scared because, well, the entire process, right? Remember, freaky stuff was happening to me and you was like, "Girl, you better embrace that." I'm like, "I don't know about this." But so in my 55-5, I started twice before I actually did it because I started writing down material things. And then I would actually tell myself out loud, like, "I don't want that shit." It sounded good in the beginning, but then when I really sat down and got quiet, all I want in this life is for someone to be like, and I won't call his name, but for him to be like, hey, I want you to come move in with me. You don't have to pay any bills. Like, and I want to cook in my air fryer all day. I don't ask for much. I'm a woman of simple needs.
Yeah.
Just move me in, and I keep house. That's not a problem. I can be a kept woman. Just make sure my air fryer is always working, and we're good. Oh
Yeah.
man, we are good. But on a serious note, like when you really start getting real and honest with yourself, things begin to happen. Things begin to show up that you may have suppressed or didn't even know was there.
Mm. Mhm.
Like for me, um, I've always been athletic. I'm 40 years old. I'm still athletic. But when I look at myself, I'm like, oh man, I won't be able to do that no more. And I lied to myself.
Wow.
Everything that I used to do when I was playing sports, I can still do. But I looked at it like, oh, I can't do that no more. No, I could do everything. The problem was I was so consumed with working to make money, I put all that stuff aside. But when I got back into health and fitness, man, I was like, Tubby, you better go. Like,
Mm.
get it, Tubby. But oh man, like knowing really what you want. And the biggest thing for me is I want to remain in great health. Outside of that, whatever happens,
Mhm.
I'm ready for.
Yeah, that's what we talk about all the time, just health being wealth. That's
Yeah.
the true wealth.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited about spring because we're gonna take all of this energy, creative energy, lots of
Yeah.
ideas. We coming out of a season where we just sat and had idea after idea after idea
Yeah.
and went back and forth and struggled with ourselves. And, now, y'all, we got lots of energy
Yeah.
and it's time to use it first to pour into yourself.
Yes.
First and foremost, this is the season right now. This is the time to identify yourself, identify the things that you want for yourself so
Yeah.
that there's a focus on the energy. You can channel
Yeah.
that energy. Yeah.
And listen, I look forward to this season for us because we're bringing more cousins. We
Yes.
we're bringing some cousins,
So
man.
excited.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all,
Yeah.
we are abundantly supported.
We are.
We are. We really, really are. And even if you feel like you're not, you are. You are. Don't ever forget that or lose belief in that. And this season is definitely about supporting one another, celebrating one another. We have
Yeah.
Grow with YOLO is here.
Oh
Saw her in the
yes.
chat. She's gonna be with us next week. She's a gardening coach, teach you all you need to know about gardening. When I tell you,
Yeah.
like, so we have a farming collective, and she came out during one of the, we had like a volunteer day,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone still talks about her like, oh my gosh, we learned so much. We learned so much. It's
Yeah,
like,
she's so beautiful from the
oh my gosh.
inside out.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
inside out. And I feel like I've known this lady all my life, never met her.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, that's
man.
crazy, right? It's just crazy, but yeah, well, you will meet her next week.
Yeah. She and I are going to she doesn't know this yet. We touched on it very briefly. We will buy land for her to garden. That
Mm.
we will do that.
Yeah,
We
we're
will
looking
do that.
forward to growing with
Yeah.
you too. But yeah, this is exciting.
It is.
How do you
It is.
feel? I know I have a tendency to feel like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared. I'm not rehearsed." And what ends up happening is nothing.
Hey, you get out of it what you put into it.
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh shoot.
Um yeah, so it's
When you say how do I feel? What do
just
you
we just, we're live or we're showing our faces. I
listen?
would have never thought that I would be
Look,
showing my face on YouTube, by
my
the way.
palms are sweating so so I have a paralyzing fear of public speaking. Like I can't see these people. I love being in the chat and everything. Like I have chills, hence why I'm in the in the Karen sweater. Um I really am nervous, but the thing about it is I'm more confident than I am nervous.
Mm,
So it's gonna be what it is.
mm. I
There's
hear
no other
that.
way around that.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Just gotta do it scared. This is just a great that's why this platform is teaching me that I'm never gonna be fully ready.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
You just gotta start. You just gotta start.
That's all you got to do. Because, listen, our plan was to just come on and show our faces and prepare for next week. But man, look, our cousins are in the chat. They're keeping
Uh,
it going. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
yes, y'all. And please like share, like, subscribe, comment. That's how we generate traffic. Grow with YOLO, put your page or in the chat as well. So we have that and we can subscribe to your channel. She'll be with us
Oh yeah.
next week.
Man, how about you? Like, and the preparation thing for me, I guess this is, I don't want to say cocky or arrogant. I don't believe confident. I'm gonna go with that. Like 3 minutes before the show starts, I tell myself one thing: let's get it. Right? It doesn't nothing else matter. Like, look, um, especially because this is ours. No one can take this from us.
Yes,
We can
yes.
give it up, but no one can take this from us. When you're playing in that type of odds, I'm gonna
Mm,
sit right here with my sweaty palms and my Karen sweater. No one can take this from us. It's not like a job.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
This is ours. We own the rights to this.
mm-hmm.
Only thing someone can do is like not let us air it on their platform. But then guess what? We'll just pay someone to build a platform for us. Can't nobody take this from us. So it
Yeah,
doesn't it
yeah.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that's just the confidence I go to every single time.
And you know what? You don't even have to have a channel or a platform or any of that because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, that
Yeah.
still applies. What is yours? No one can take it from you.
No one can
But you
take it.
have
You
to
can
know
give it
it's
up.
yours. Yeah,
Yeah, you can
yeah.
give it up. But nobody take it.
Can't nobody take it. Just
One
gotta know
thing
it's
that you said
yours.
to me, I think it was last week, we were just having general conversation. And I love when this happens because you never remember that you said it. You was like, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes, that is.
And so I thought about that, and I don't compare myself with anybody, like I'm the shit. But I thought about that, right? And I see that in so many people comparing themselves against me, and I have to laugh. I'm my superpower. I can't give it to you if I
Mm,
wanted to.
mm-hmm.
So oh man, that was a good thought. Random for what we're talking about right now, but that was a good that was good. Like, when you begin to compare yourself, it really, really steals your joy.
Yeah.
And we're not going to do that. We're not worried about any other podcast. Um, we're going to support them if we feel the need. There's room for Everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like there
Everybody.
life is abundant, yo.
Yeah.
There's space and opportunity for everyone. There's
Yeah.
no need to compete, compare.
Any of that. We just got to stay pregnant with possibilities.
Mhm.
Pregnant with possibility. Oh man.
Well, what you I think we just gonna wrap it up. I wanna just I don't know. I lost my thought actually. Never mind.
Mm.
See how it just came and left? Just like
Wasn't
that.
meant to share. It's all good.
No,
Wasn't meant to
no.
share.
Oh, can I pull a card though? I have an oracle card. Let me pull here.
Wait, do you have to shuffle?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
dog.
I'll just mute it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna mute.
We
No,
can.
I'm not. It's fine. I know you can still see me. That's why I was like, fuck that shit. So you hear a couple of cards. Big deal. All right. So, we started pulling cards last season just to kind of as we approach our weekend, and many of us we have time to ourselves. Some of us do.
Yep.
Hopefully, you got a few moments to yourself every day. But what are we to reflect on this season? Right?
Yeah, that's a
This
big
is a this deck is a
huge is what it
un
is.
Shut up.
Hell, you still shuffling.
Whatever. Unshakable inner peace.
Oh, okay.
Unshakable inner peace. All right. So we've got great awakening. Walk in your truth, stand firm in your light. How can you trust yourself more?
Well, that pretty much wraps
Yeah.
up what we just talked
I
about.
know, right? That's so crazy how that
That pretty
works.
much wrapped up what we just talked about.
Yeah, so like, okay, can I just read this really quickly? At this point in your spiritual journey, you are beginning to feel pulled between your old life and the new life that is emerging. You have started to wake up to new possibilities, ideas, and even dreams. The real you has arrived and is emerging into all that you came to be. Let yourself grow by committing to standing in your truth. This means honor your own path and stand proud in your own light. Everything you have been through is part of your growth and great awakening. You have been preparing for this. The path to wholeness, well being, and enlightenment can feel lonely if you're growing faster than those around you. This is a reminder that you are never alone and great love surrounds you at all times. Keep pursuing your passion and living from your heart. The earth needs your light. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and knowing your true self will set you free.
Man, that'll preach by itself.
Okay, look here.
You know what?
I'm done.
I take back clowning about that shuffle. That was a good
See,
shuffle for for a great card.
see,
No, that's so man, that it's interesting how it keeps coming up that not only do we need to identify ourselves, but we need to trust ourselves.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's been times when I've put more trust in my job than I have in myself. My job doesn't take care of me, and I
Nope.
don't see it taking care of me anytime soon.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, we can
This is
definitely
like, you
close
know
out after
what?
that.
Look, we I'm about to talk about astrology again. Is that okay? It'll be
We
totally
listen.
relatable.
We can do what we want. This is ours. This is ours.
Right, you right. But we're coming out of Pisces season, and Pisces is you're dreaming, you're sleeping, and we're now in Aries and we're waking up. Like wake up and believe that beauty and excellence that you see. Once you believe all of that, That's all. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's yeah.
I'm a firm believer that a person treats you the way you treat yourself.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
nothing like period. The end,
Listen.
right?
Shout out to Mini Skirt Mert. She posted a video the other day, and she said she did a like a staycation, and she was talking about how it's time to manifest the way we want people to treat us, and
Yeah. Mhm.
we got to start by treating ourselves good.
Yeah. And a
Yeah.
lot of people they like pleasing people. And I'm not saying that anything is wrong with it, but I truly think that you send the wrong message.
Mhm. Mhm.
You send the wrong message because me personally, I don't know your ass to death. I will know your ass to death. You're not gonna get a lot of yeses out of me. It's just
Wow.
not gonna happen. Hey Shauna, what happened to I don't know. You're not about to do that. But man, that card, that that card was pretty good. Well
Yes.
worth the shuffle.
You're welcome. All
Oh
right,
man.
y'all. Well, we about to get on up out of here.
Oh
And we
yes.
will be back next Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. You can follow us on Instagram at When We Think of Us.
Oh, and
What
please
else, Mark?
check out Grow with YOLO.
Yes,
Man,
we
great
shoes.
affirmation, great. I mean, just follow it. I everything will
Right?
speak for itself. It'll make sense once you follow.
Yes, yes. That's awesome. All right, y'all. Well, thank you. Peace, prosperity, and abundance to you. Be blessed, be happy, and it's time to get it. Let's get it. As
There
Shauna
you
K
go.
said, let's get it.
Let's get it. Man, thank y'all so much for joining.
All right, peace, y'all.